surgeries where you suck out the fat between the abdominals, essentially a BBL for your abs, then yeah, you're the type who gets it done. But if you're trying to make it look like you put in the work, that you dieted.
Oh, wow. A crazy new leak just hit the net, and if it's real, this could be the endgame for Drake. We're talking leaked audio and private convos that allegedly tie straight back to him. The internet already blowing up. Tags like Drake exposed and Drake leak are going viral, while fans, critics, and even music execs are pressing for answers fast. Meanwhile, the whole OVO crew is staying real quiet. This and that silence, it's loud. If this turns out to be legit, Drake's whole image, the icy, untouchable superstar, could crash and burn overnight. This ain't about some punchlines or petty drama on IG. This could break the bond he built with his fans and pull the curtain back on his real status behind the scenes in the industry. And it's only getting messier. People are already digging up the old dirt, those whispers about fake numbers, paid streams, and a fame machine built on illusions. Suddenly, all those streaming milestones ain't looking so shiny. Was it really fan love or just good marketing with some shady backup? Some insiders now claim they've got receipts. Proof that his chart domination might have been helped by behind-the-scenes manipulation. If any of this is real, it's more than just a bad look. It could wreck everything. You don't want to miss what drops next. Subscribe to Juicy Real for all the raw details as they unfold. Behind closed doors, data is leaking and it's looking messy. If what's coming out holds weight, Drake's whole legacy might not be about real connection, but straight up strategy and control. This ain't your average PR mess. This could flip the whole industry on its head. And while all this chaos unfolds, Kendrick Lamar's over there glowing up off raw talent and undeniable influence. Drake's grip on the game, slipping fast. The numbers don't hit like they used to and people are peeping it. Fans who used to ride for him no matter what, now they're side-eyeing the whole empire. For years, hardcore supporters brushed off any talk of fake stats like it was pure jealousy. Every time someone questioned the numbers, it got chalked up to haters hating. But now, with fresh leaks popping off and receipts making the rounds, even the loudest OVO loyalists are suddenly quiet. The mask is coming off and it's happening quick. And here's the wild part, some folks even tried to flip the blame on Kendrick, saying he was the one pumping up fake streams. But that move, total boomerang. It backfired hard. Cause when you line up the real stats, the awards, the anthems, and the raw cultural impact, Kendrick's record speaks for itself. No gimmicks, no smoke, just real moves with real power. This ain't about who's trending. This is about who really earned it. Drake's world might be cracking, while Kendrick's legacy just keeps getting stronger. Subscribe to Juicy Real. You don't want to miss how this unfolds. Now the heat is back on Drake's crew and it's getting real uncomfortable. People are asking the big question. Were those wild numbers built on real fan love? Or was it all just one big industry play? Ever since Kendrick's legendary Super Bowl moment, his Spotify numbers skyrocketed to 110 million monthly listeners. No gimmicks, no filters, just raw, organic love from the world showing up for pure greatness. And that's got Drake's whole team low-key sweating. Now yeah, after that Super Bowl spike, Kendrick's numbers slid back to around 85 million. Instantly, the trolls tried to twist it, calling it a red flag. But here's the real. That drop is normal. Every artist sees a boost after global stages like that. It's not a crash, it's a cool down. But Kendrick ain't your average artist. What sets him apart? He's been tested and passed every time. While the music biz has been quietly cleaning house, wiping out fake streams, bot farms, and shady boost tactics, Kendrick's numbers untouched. Platforms like Spotify been dropping the hammer, scrubbing all the artificial plays from artist accounts, and guess what? Some huge names saw their stats drop real hard. Quiet adjustments, silent takedowns, some of the industry's darlings got exposed when the filters came off, but Kendrick still standing tall. No weird crashes, no mystery dips, just steady, real support from actual fans. That kind of consistency, you can't manufacture it. You can't fake a movement when it's built off respect, bars, and real impact. Kendrick's numbers ain't from a robot, they're from the people. Kendrick's success, it's built on real connection. While others out here scrambling, making excuses for their sudden drops, his legacy ain't just growing, it's skyrocketing. And now with the Grand National Tour storming across Europe, he's selling out massive stadiums. Just the other week, he packed out the biggest venue in Cologne and the crowd came deep. That's not promo fluff, that's real love. Live show numbers don't lie, they line up perfectly with what the data's been screaming for years. Kendrick's come up wasn't handed to him by algorithms or boosted by shady tech tricks. His rise is powered by real fans, real support, and moments that hit on a human level. While other rappers been trying to recover from the chaos of fake stream purges and digital cleanup, Kendrick didn't even blink. No sudden drops, no mysterious adjustments. His numbers held strong. And in today's shaky, stream-heavy game, that kind of solid ground, rare. Let's be real. The gap between perception and reality is wide now. Kendrick's not just dominating on the charts, he's doing it on stage, on streaming platforms, and in culture worldwide. From viral tracks like Not Like Us to a tour that's touching every corner of the globe, his presence is unmatched. Still, a few die-hard Drake fans out there hanging on, claiming Kendrick's success is somehow fake? Come on. That argument's already wrecked by real data and straight-up common sense. Subscribe to Juicy Real for the unfiltered truth and all the latest heat. Kendrick's out here pulling real numbers. Numbers no bot army could ever fake. You don't sell out stadiums across Europe with phony clicks. You do it by connecting with millions who actually feel the music deep. His whole catalog, untouched. Through every platform audit, every bot purge, Kendrick's name stayed clean. In today's digital jungle, that's a major flex. But here's where it gets spicy. Because the same cannot be said for his biggest rival. During Spotify's latest sweep, where they cracked down hard on artificial streams, one major name took a massive hit, Drake. And it wasn't no minor dip either. This drop, it was loud. It was obvious. It screamed that something shady had been going on behind the scenes. Most rappers skated through with barely a scratch, but Drake, his numbers got clipped in a way that had folks going, yo, what's really going on? The line between real reach and manufactured hype just got blown wide open. The wildest part? Drake Stan's been throwing shade at Kendrick for years, trying to drag his name through the mud, saying his stats were too good to be true. But now, tables turned. The same scrutiny they wanted for everyone else just came for their guy. And it's not looking good. The latest numbers are speaking loud, and the story they're telling, way less shiny than the one fans thought they knew. While Kendrick keeps it moving, solid and untouched, other heavyweights are scrambling to keep the illusion alive. Spotify just ran a deep cleanse, removing streams tied to sketchy activity, and guess exactly who got caught in the mess. Hit that subscribe on Juicy Real. The receipts are still rolling in, and it's only getting crazier. Three giants, Nicki Minaj, Kanye West, and the one making the most noise right now, Drake. Yeah, all three took hits when Spotify cracked down. But the loudest backlash? It came from Kanye's camp, even though he's been blackballed, sidelined, and pushed out of the mainstream spotlight for years. His music still charts. So when his numbers started shrinking, people started asking, was some of that legendary run actually puffed up with fake streams? But let's not get it twisted. The biggest blow didn't hit Nicki or Ye. It landed squarely on Drake. His whole image, built on dominance, consistency, that always winning energy. So when verified streams start vanishing from his profile, this ain't just a tech hiccup. This is serious. It's feeding the rumors that maybe, just maybe, those chart-topping runs weren't as real as we thought. So how did the OVO crew handle it? Not by owning up, not even close. They jumped straight into panic mode, blaming Spotify, blaming the haters, blaming everyone except the one with his name on the charts. But when the receipts are public and the dips are right there for the world to see, it gets harder and harder to spin the truth. Drake's brand just took a major hit, and no PR statement or deflection is patching this one up. What's even wilder? Some fans tried to flip the script again and throw shade at Kendrick Lamar. But here's the twist. Kendrick's catalog came out the audit cleaner than ever. No sudden drops, no sketchy removals, no weird spikes wiped out overnight. His numbers held firm through every sweep. So now, that refusal to admit the obvious losses on Drake's end ain't just denial, it's full-blown damage control. And the harder they push the excuses, the worse it all starts to look. Subscribe to Juicy Real. We're keeping it raw while others keep running from the facts. The numbers don't lie anymore. They're crystal clear. Kendrick's stats still rock solid. But Drake's, they're quietly vanishing right in front of us. This ain't some internet rumor, it's cold, undeniable data. The truth's finally showing who's backed by real people and who's been floating on illusions. And the denial? It's spiraling out of control. After Spotify's latest stream purge, Drake's supporters panicked. Instead of facing what's right in front of them, they started tossing Kendrick's name around, trying to shift the heat like he had anything to do with their losses. But that game, it's falling apart fast, because you can't fake consistency, and Kendrick's got that locked all the way down. One wild rumor that's been making the rounds: some fans claim Kendrick's Not Like Us blew up thanks to bots, saying up to 10% of the track's success came from artificial hype. But when you dig into the numbers, there's zero evidence to back that up, nothing. And the audits proved it. Kendrick's stream counts didn't budge, not even once. No drops, no deletions, no funny business. Meanwhile, Drake's catalog, it got hit hard, and right where the suspicions always lived. His streaming numbers took visible removals, and they line up exactly with the long-running whispers about inflated stats. That contrast, it's loud, it's undeniable. Kendrick's still rising off clean data and packed arenas, while Drake's foundation is crumbling. And this ain't just about streams anymore. This is a full-blown legacy shift happening in real time. The one thing Drake always flexed, those monster streaming numbers, just got exposed as hollow. Now that last shield he had against criticism, gone. Subscribe to Juicy Real. We're breaking it down while the truth keeps rising to the surface. That whole numbers don't lie energy, yeah, it just completely backfired. And here's the wild part. While Drake's legal team is out here pushing claims that Not Like Us got some kind of unfair boost, the real numbers are saying the exact opposite. Kendrick's rise ain't powered by bots or corny promo tricks. It's real fans, real streams, and real movement that can't be faked. Meanwhile, Drake's empire, it's cracking, and all that digital smoke it was built on is blowing right back in his face. The industry's shifting, and artists who tried to cheat the system, they're finally getting caught in the mess they helped create. Lately, Drake's team been pushing this weak narrative that Kendrick's breakout anthem, Not Like Us, was boosted with fake streams. But guess what? That talk just ain't landing. There's no receipts, no data flags, no suspicious drops in Kendrick's numbers, even after Spotify's latest cleanup. His stats stayed clean through all of it. Now flip the script and it's a whole different story on Drake's side. His numbers flashing red flags all over the place. Insiders say streaming platforms are watching closely, pointing to odd spikes and sketchy play activity linked to his catalog. If what they're finding holds up, a major cut might be coming down soon. And that ain't just bad PR. That's the kind of hit that can rewrite a legacy. 'Cause for years, Drake looked untouchable in the streaming world. The playlists, the placements, the perfect numbers, it all seemed too good. And now, the cracks are showing. Those mystery boosts he seemed to enjoy, they're finally under the microscope. The curtain's lifting, and what's behind it might not be what fans expected. Stay locked on Juicy Real. We're peeling back every layer while the truth hits the timeline. Drake's so-called digital dominance has always looked a little too perfect, and now we're finally starting to see why. From autoplay tricks to near-mandatory playlist placements, his music didn't just climb the charts, it got pushed. Let's talk about For Free. It's still charting, but ask around. Nobody's really talking about it. No viral moment, no buzz, no cultural shift. So why is it still sitting up there? The numbers are pointing to infra boosting, not fan demand. The data is finally lining up with what people been whispering for years. And with Apple Music dropping their list of the top 500 most streamed songs of all time, those little gaps in the story, they're getting way harder to ignore. Some of Drake's placements, they just don't match the energy in the streets or the culture. And folks are starting to call it out loud. If future audits start digging even deeper, we might really see how much of Drake's reign came from streaming infrastructure rather than genuine replay value. 'Cause let's be honest, streaming platforms been handing out secret advantages for years. Drake's tracks often played automatically after other popular songs, snagging him passive streams that had nothing to do with what people actually chose to hear. Sound small? Nah, that adds up fast. Over time, that's millions of plays that look like love from fans, but in reality, just algorithm leftovers dressed up as support. And now those same platforms, they're finally feeling the heat. They're not just asking how much anymore, they're digging into how. Who's really getting chosen and who's just slipping through the system? Subscribe to Juicy Real. We're tracking every angle while the industry finally gets real. That subtle shift in the streaming data game, it's turning into a major storm. Now, to keep it fair, Drake might not be faking streams the same way some newer artists or entire genres like K-pop have been accused of. But this ain't about bots. This is about built-in advantages that twist the whole picture, and that illusion, it's finally cracking wide open. In the K-pop world, stream inflation is bold, calculated, and intentional. Fans squad up, coordinate, and flood platforms with numbers designed to crush the charts. It's a high-energy, hype-focused machine that runs on volume alone. But Drake, his situation hits different. He didn't rise off fan armies, he rose off the system itself. Go back to the Views era, when streaming first started taking over the game. That's when Drake locked in as the algorithm's favorite. He became the default sound of the streaming era. Drop often, drop catchy, drop everywhere. And that wasn't just music, it was a formula, a system, a blueprint for dominance. Drake was baked in from the beginning. Playlists flooded with his tracks, trend cycles. He was always in rotation. The exposure, non-stop. Even when folks weren't checking for a song, it still found its way into your ears. Over time, that turned into millions of streams that looked like love, but were really just the byproduct of a machine. But now, the platforms are tightening up. They're looking deeper, not just at how many streams, but how they happen. And that spotlight, it's shining bright on Drake. His once bulletproof numbers, now under the microscope. And the signs are loud: passive autoplay loops, algorithmic bias, platform favoritism. It may have quietly padded his stats for years. Subscribe to Juicy Real, cause this legacy math is getting rewritten in real time. That so-called dynasty, it's starting to look less like a legendary run and more like a carefully manufactured product. And now that Kendrick Lamar's impact is being felt worldwide, with no algorithm boosts, no backstage favors, the contrast couldn't be more brutal. We might be staring down one of the biggest reckonings in hip-hop history. Cause if even half of what's leaking about Drake's streaming manipulation turns out to be real, then everything we thought we knew about his dominance might have been one big illusion. All that Billboard glory, those unbeatable stream numbers, the playlist takeovers, it's looking less like organic love and more like a streaming simulation. A well-oiled machine fueled by autoplay loops, passive listens, and behind-the-scenes placement deals. And if that illusion breaks, so does the myth of his untouchable legacy. Meanwhile, Kendrick, he's gliding through this storm untouched. His streams stayed solid through every audit. No shady activity, no secret dip-offs. And his tour, selling out stadiums across the globe. No inflated numbers, no gimmicks, just bars, connection, and a movement that's as real as it gets. In a game bloated with smoke and mirrors, Kendrick's rise hits different. Why? Because it's authentic, and now things are getting even messier. Drake's camp just lit up the scene with a lawsuit, claiming Not Like Us didn't rise naturally. But here's the twist. His own catalog's under fire for suspicious streaming patterns. That lawsuit, it's starting to look like pure projection. Not only is the claim falling apart, it's exposing more about how Drake might have worked the system for years. The kind of exposure that makes platforms nervous. This could be more than just legal drama. This might peel back the curtain on a whole era of digital deception. So now we gotta ask, is the industry finally waking up to the lies that help crown certain stars? Or is this just the opening round in a much bigger war between authenticity and algorithmic advantage? Drop your take in the comments. If you're feeling this breakdown, hit that like, share it with someone who's been sleeping, and make sure you hit subscribe to Juicy Real, cause the next video, it's about to blow the lid all the way off.